Listen to this music. Doesn't this sound like a game show? All we need is crowd noise to go with this. This should be an actual TV show, not even an esport. Make it a TV show. This is one of those games that could seriously work on network television. You already know what game this is. It's Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. I'm your host, Big Ant, and this is my review of what I consider to be the best Battle Royale. What makes Fall Guys so good is that it encapsulates all the feelings of a Battle Royale like a Fortnite or an Apex Legends. You know, the tension, the excitement, the drama, the pain of losing a close match, the thrill of winning, it's all there. But then Fall Guys takes all of that and wraps it in a colorful, joyful, feel-good premise. Like, it's hard to get mad. It's hard to stay mad in this game. You best believe it's frustrating, but you can't help but laugh sometimes because all of it is absolutely ridiculous. This is literally a game show. You are a bean. I don't know if it's a jelly bean or some other kind of bean, but you look like a bean. Mediatonic didn't really give them a name, so we'll just say a bean. You compete against 59 other beans through random minigames inspired by the likes of Wipeout and other obstacle courses like it to compete for the crown. I'll show a few minigames as we go so you can see how goofy they are, but they're perfectly crafted for this kind of game. The minigames range from racing, trivia, survival, team games, and then there's a few final level stages all meant to be the final showdown for the crowns. Mediatonic did a really good job of tailoring these games to suit a small and big amount of players. But I have to say, the more players there are, the zanier it gets. My favorite games are Tiptoe, Jump Club, DoorDash, and Hexagon, which is a final stage minigame. I like these games for various reasons, but most of it comes down to something funny happens, and that's mostly bottlenecks. Take Tiptoe, for example. In this game, your goal is to reach the other side, but you have to find the right path. If you run over a tile that's not on that path, you fall through and have to start over. So what ends up happening is this bottleneck occurs on the newest tile, and people are either scared to move forward or they're waiting for someone else to potentially take the plunge. So you have this giant group on one tile, and the psychology behind it is hysterical. Because can you imagine watching this on TV? Like, I think it's hysterical. And then you have some people who are trying to bump others onto the other tiles. So there's all these mind games and psychologies coming onto this one tile, and I think it's a riot. It's freaking hysterical. Or take DoorDash as another example. In this game, the goal is to run through all the doors to get to the finish line. But some doors don't open when you try to bust through them, so you have to find the right doors. And sometimes there's only one door, and so you have 25 plus beans all trying to squeeze through this one door, and all you're hearing is cute little grunts and bumping sounds while this playful music is going on in the background as the perfect soundtrack for the madness. It's absolutely perfect. But then there's nothing particularly funny about Hexagon. In fact, it could be a very frustrating game, but it's just flat out fun. This game is all about surviving. There are 5 platforms, all made up of small hexagons. Whenever you step on one, it disappears, and the goal is not to fall through. If you end up in the pink goop, you lose. It's a strategic game, but it's also fun trying to sabotage others to make them mess up while you try to secure your own area to stay alive. You'll find a lot of other games are pretty fun too, but there are some that are just plain frustrating. A lot of people don't like the team games, and understandably so. They require teamwork of others, and that's usually frustrating. Some folk don't know how to play, and that means you have to carry the team somehow, or you're gonna have to end up taking the L. Thankfully, the requeues are pretty dang quick, but if a team game ends up being near the end of a run and you lose, then it's really frustrating. Now, personally, there's a few team games I do enjoy, like Fall Ball and Rock and Roll and Egg Scramble, but some of that is partially because of the hilarity of playing the games, or I just simply enjoy the game itself separate from the team aspect. I want to take a quick detour and talk about how team compositions are made. I was trying to see if there was some consistent way the game put teams together, and it seems like it does put players who are performing well on the same team. I have zero proof of this, but all of my anecdotal evidence points to how whenever I did poorly, So that either not placing in the top 20% or less than the top 50% or whatever, I usually ended up on a team with less players or worse players, or both. When I did well in other rounds, usually placing in the top 50 to 20%, I ended up on a winning team. And this only applies for rounds 2 and up, by the way. And again, I have no programming evidence of this, but if that is the case, it makes sense because the game is trying to put the best players in the final round. And that's the thing about this too. Winning does take a little skill, but it's also a ton of luck as well. The most control you have over winning is knowing the minigames and manipulating it to your advantage. Everyone is cursed with the same quirky movement and random falling, so you have to figure out how to eliminate as much of that randomness as possible to win. And it's entirely possible to win a lot. Maybe not every game, but you can win a whole lot of crowns by knowing how to take advantage of these minigames. Another criticism I have of Fall Guys is some games rely too much on good camera angles, and the game doesn't allow you to change camera settings. Like, you can't make the camera turn faster or slower. It just, whatever it is, it is. And for me, the camera turns too slow. Like, I can't stand the minigame rollout because I can't turn the camera fast enough sometimes. Not to mention, I play inverted, and the camera does not function the way I would like it to function. So I'm fiddling with the camera even more. Give us the ability to at least change the function, Mediatonic. That's all I'm asking for. But okay, we've played a bunch of games. Now what? Well, after every match, you get kudos, which is Fall Guys' in-game currency. Yeah, you know where this is going. Fall Guys has microtransactions. But Big Ant, doesn't this game cost money? Sure does, and that's the crappy part. You pay $20 and they're still wanting money out of you. Worst part is, you still can't earn everything in the game. You can spend kudos on cosmetics, which is skins and patterns for your being. They're pretty good, but they take quite a lot of kudos to earn. And since the shop changes every set amount of time, you're going to have to play consistently to earn those skins. Otherwise, you can buy kudos. Yeah. It's basically the Fortnite model, if you're familiar with that. If not, this is what Fortnite does. Say hi to effective business strategies, right? The difference here is Fortnite is actually free. So, I mean, the game is very good, but this game needs to go free to play immediately. You have until the end of August 2020 to get the game for free on PlayStation Plus, but after that, it's $20. And it's not even free on PC. So PC players are getting screwed over. Yes, you don't have to spend money on the microtransactions. You have the freedom to do that. But the fact they're making people pay for the game and you can't even earn everything without paying is absolutely ridiculous. There's just zero need for the microtransactions for a non-free-to-play game in the first place. One thing about the store that is interesting is that whenever you earn crowns, whether by getting dubs or every 10 levels of the pass, which you don't have to pay for, by the way, so that's good, you can use crowns to buy exclusive items only available through crowns. It's kind of like winner swag and only available to those who play for a really, really long time or for those who are getting those wins. But for now, Fall Guys hasn't said how they plan on expanding on the game because of the microtransactions, which means they're just collecting a bunch of profit from a game that they made people pay for, particularly on PC. So I'd recommend not engaging in their system until they start doing more for the game. Obviously, yes, you can spend your money how you want. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just saying there's nothing we're gaining so far to justify continuing to pay for a game that has a retail price except for the skins, but the skins don't matter as soon as you stop playing the game. With that said, I still enjoy Fall Guys a whole lot. It's a great game, set with a strong, cohesive sense of competition and fun. I just wish they didn't have the microtransactions. I'm going to give the game a 3 out of 4. More reviews are on the way for new and old games. So if you enjoyed this review, please tap that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to continue getting more of my reviews, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.